welcome back to another mukbang. I was really craving some cheesy loaded fries, so I made my own homemade cheese sauce. You can check out the recipe, it took like 15 minutes to make, and I've got some in a pot over here that I've just heated up. So I think I'm just going to drizzle a little bit over the fries. I don't want to drizzle too much because I don't want to make the fries soggy. So I've just put some in a bowl that I can dip when I feel like it. Let's get a little bit over these fries. I made the cheese sauce a little runnier than I usually would. I don't know why, I just fancied doing it that way today. But obviously you can always make it thicker. You can follow my recipe if you like. I've got some onions over here. Let's scatter some of that. By the way, I always forget to introduce myself. I'm Anissa Chinara and I just like doing recipes and stuff like that. So if you want, you can always check out some of mine. Just get these evenly sprinkled around. I didn't want to make too many onions. And I fried up some beef earlier. So let's just try to get this on neatly. 1 second. Make it look somewhat appealing. Ooh. I just fried up the steak with just a really simple steak, like salt, pepper, and then right when it was ready to come out of the pan, I just added a good hunk of butter and a clove of garlic, which I just bashed slightly, so it becomes a little garlicky. And you know what, let's get a little bit more of that cheese sauce on top. Ooh. It's got a skin forming already because it's hot. Not too appealing. Just move these out of the way. And I've just got some drops of pepper. I don't know if people like this kind of thing. There we go. Got some drops done there. Well, I hope you grab some food and let's just tuck right in because I'm really hungry. I haven't had lunch just yet, so. The cheese sauce is good. I have to say the fries aren't brilliant. I wish I went for just normal fries, you know, like the little skinny ones. But I decided to try some crinkle chips today and they're just not as enjoyable, but steak is good. I overcooked it a little bit. I kind of forgot about it whilst I was trying to keep an eye on everything else, but it's okay. I'm in a good mood though. Good food, good weather. Despite the isolation. The onions are so good with this. I don't want to like caramelize them too much. I just wanted that slight bite to them. Love it. Yeah, I definitely overcooked the beef. I mean, it still tastes really good, but it is a bit chewy. To me, there's something so satisfying about a good crispy fry. So I'm a little more quiet today. I'm really hungry. I'm tired of cooking a little bit. I just finished cooking when I did this mukbang. And I'm really warm right now. This feels really good. Just a good comforting meal. Guilty food. It's been a while since I've done something like this. And the cheese sauce is so nice and cheesy. You know what? I originally wasn't going to grill any onions. Now I'm really wishing I did more. They're so good to just bring that little bit of sweetness. I have a feeling I'm suddenly going to get really full up with this as well. I hope everyone's keeping themselves safe during this time. I'm trying to think, oh no! My fork gave up on me. No. I'll be back with a new one. Okay, got a new fork. So chewy. The only thing I've been seeing everywhere, obviously, is just stories about the virus. And I don't understand the conspiracy that started with coronavirus and 5G. I mean, I can understand people stressing over 5G itself because I guess it's sort of newer. I can understand people stressing about that and it's on its own because, you know, the risk of radiation and stuff. Even though I don't think it's too significant to cause anything bad. I mean, I don't see it as being any worse than the risks caused by when we smoke food and eat like pre-packaged stuff and things like that. I think the risk of there is probably greater than what you get from 5G. Even though I do understand the concerns. What I don't understand is why people think it's causing the coronavirus. I mean, I think simple science would tell you that radiation isn't contagious. The virus is, because it's a virus. I think maybe it became such a big issue because everyone's bored at home. The only thing they have to do is go on the internet, and you see a bunch of conspiracy theories and you start panicking. Everyone jumps onto this thing. Parents are bad for it, like they're sending posts around everywhere. You know, you're seeing videos of people in China, or was it Japan, pulling down cell phone towers or 5G towers, whatever it was. But it turns out that wasn't even related to this year, what's happening now. They were pulling down towers due to surveillance issues. It's a completely different matter. But people are twisting the story, and I think everyone's just in a panic, mainly because everyone has nothing else to do, maybe. I don't know. I don't understand why people are so hooked on the conspiracy though. Mainly because it's so easily disproven. I don't know. What bothers me is that a lot of religious organisations aren't shutting down. They're not getting rid of these services, even though it's for the benefit of the people who go to them. And they're spreading misinformation, making people delusional. Like, I don't know if anyone watching this has seen this lady recently who's saying she's safe from the coronavirus because she's got Jesus blood or something. And I feel like it's really not ethical at all that these priests and things like that are trying to sell this during a time when people are most vulnerable. They're scared. They're trying to sell these cures, like, come here, give a donation and it'll save you from getting the virus. It doesn't work that way. Unfortunately, the majority of the people who do go to those sort of things nowadays are people who are more vulnerable, as in the elderly maybe, who sort of fall for that. And I could be wrong about that, but I feel like that would be the demographic that's getting hit by it. So if, when they get into these congregations, the biggest risk is to those. Who probably make up the majority of these. I don't know for sure. I don't go to church or anything like that. It's not. I'm not Christian or anything, so I guess maybe you could say it's not my place to say, but it just comes across as very unethical to me. I understand because it's a hard time, people want to go to church more. You know, people struggle, they want to fall for certain things. That's absolutely fine. I'm a religious person myself. I understand why people would go to that as, you know, a source of comfort, I suppose. But I think the priests or people delivering these sermons and things like that have a responsibility to keep their congregation safe as well. Beef is just so chewy. To be fair, I really feel for the people who are going to these churches expecting that their donations will make everything fine and stuff. I don't believe they're stupid or anything like that. Like, a lot of people have been saying that, but I understand it. I mean, people do anything when they're stressed, when they're scared, but I just say it's more ignorant. But I feel bad for them. I don't know. I think the people who are still asking for these donations at this time are disgusting me. Like, what's his name? Kenneth Copeland. There's a lot of controversy around him at the moment. If anyone hasn't heard of him, I'd suggest you look him up. He's really amusing to watch because you can tell he's just full of crap, really. He's clearly in it for the money. I mean, even now he's asking for donations when people are out of work. Unemployment is a huge issue right now. People are probably tight on money because they're not getting any, and he's still asking for donations saying it'll keep you safe. And obviously that's not true. But anything goes when you want the money. But so anyone who hasn't heard of him, he basically tried to justify buying a private jet and saying, because when he goes on a plane, he basically calls the people on the plane demons. This is how he refers to his own people that go to him, demons, which makes you wonder what sort of man is he then, if that's what he has to say about his congregation or people around him. This is what I see as a huge issue. It's quite frustrating to see it. Even though it's not my business, I mean, it's not me pumping money into this. It's not my religion, it's not my church, it's just... It's still shitty to see. It's like, I think, you know, these particular people, like Kenneth Copeland, I see him as, you know, those mediums, people who think they can act like they can talk to ghosts. when they clearly can't. I mean, it's quite obvious that all they're doing is looking for the most generic bit of information around you. Oh, did someone die in your family? Well, oh yes, of course. If you've gone to a medium, there's going to be a death in your family. It was someone close to you. Well, yeah, obviously. You wouldn't go to a medium for someone who was far from you, not really too stricken over their passing. I mean, this is the way they work like that. I see these televangelists the same way. A bunch of crooks. And it's really frustrating. I mean, it's amusing at the same time, but it's sad because you know people still fall for this. There's a show on TV that comes on maybe once a week or something. I don't know. I don't see it on often. I think I've only clicked on it once actually, and it was accidental. It was about these mediums in America, and I feel like you can just see right through them. They talk like there's someone in the room. They're asking questions which are really generic to everyone. Almost everyone has had a death of a close one in their family at some point in their life, especially as you start getting to an older age. It's going to be there, and it's really annoying to see it. I think the best thing people could do for themselves right now, in this time, is honestly just try to limit contacts. That's hard. I mean, and to be fair, I have nothing against people who are just visiting family here and there. As long as they're both isolating outside of that, I see nothing wrong. Like, there's a lot of people who live alone. The only thing they're doing is going to the shops when they need to and visiting another family member or friend or something like that when they live alone as well. So the risk of spreading it is quite low, I think. I don't see an issue with that in itself. I see an issue mainly around people who are going to the beach still, they're having barbecues, picnics, huge gatherings. That's where I find an issue right now. That's what's bugging me right now. I want to have a summer. I want to have a good holiday after a hard year, long. I don't think anyone wants to finish like a long academic year with nothing to show for it, nothing to excite them at the end of it. Like, oh yeah, at least we can go on holiday now. I'm trying to force myself to finish the food because I know it will go to waste if I don't. Because I'm quite full now. But so I don't blame people just going between houses like that every now and again. As long as they're being careful about it, it's not. As long as they're not going to a house where there's vulnerable people, I don't see an issue. But it's mainly. But yeah, that's just the best thing people can do. I mean, I understand people wanting to go out. It's hard being on your own for so long. But, because especially, it would be different if you knew there was an end to it soon. But it's because there's no end date in sight for this. I mean, everything, flights are cancelled indefinitely or restricted. The lockdown is indefinite. On the paper, it's the same for people that are vulnerable. 12 weeks of isolation, 12 straight weeks of isolation. That's a long time. That's almost 3 months just on your own, doing nothing. It's going to be tricky for a lot of people. Myself included, I don't enjoy it. It's quite depressing, to be honest. Especially when you see the weather's really nice. I'm in a good mood now, but it's also really frustrating when you see how nice the weather is and knowing you can't actually do anything. You can't go for, well, you could go for a walk, but there's nothing you can really do. Last few bites. When I finish this meal, I'm just going to sit for a few hours, be so lazy. Last one. I'm so full. It might not look like a lot of food, but that was a hell of a lot of cheese. I mean, in this sauce, there was almost 300 grams of cheese alone. Obviously, I didn't use all of it, but fries, a full piece of steak. Just this dish makes it look like less than it is, I think. I'm going to drop into a food coma for a little while. But anyway, thank you for watching. I really appreciate your support. The people have been subscribing recently. Thank you so much when you're leaving the kind comments. It does make me feel a lot better, actually. And it makes me want to upload more and try some new things. So, I hope you enjoyed the mukbang. I'm sorry if I seemed a little bit unorganised with my thoughts, but I'm too warm at the moment. I need to open a window. I'm quite tired. I've just finished cooking and I feel a bit flustered. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't take anything I say too seriously. It's just my own opinion. I understand everyone's opinion will be different, and talking about religion, I guess, can sort of be a sensitive topic, but it's just my own opinion. It's not too personal. So yeah, I hope everyone's taking care of themselves. Thank you to those who have wished me well. I hope the same for you. I hope things are going well for everyone, and just stay safe. Thank you for watching.